You're listening to the Patriot Nation Podcast.
All right, welcome into a special edition of the Patriot Nation Podcast. It's your guy, Pat Lane here, and today I had the pleasure of sitting down virtually with Jonathan Jones and Christian Gonzalez, and they did, they were promoting a few different things, and so they were on Radio Row, and I had the opportunity to interview them again virtually, but it's a fascinating conversation. Two really great guys. Jon Jones, the third longest tenured Patriot, if you can believe that. Only David Andrews and Joe Cardona have been here for longer than Jon Jones, and only by 1 year. So he's a guy that was a rookie during the 28-3 the comeback in 2016. So has been here a long time, and of course Christian Gonzalez, a second team All-Pro. No big deal. Just one of the best young corners in the league. And we were lucky enough to get an exclusive interview with Jon Jones and Christian Gonzalez. So we're going to get you into that interview. Before we do, though, we want to remind you that Prize Picks right now for the big game has Patrick Mahomes with a free square. All he needs to get is one passing yard for you to win one square. It's a free square. And so you can pick one other square. It's almost an auto win. Just find the other square that's that hits, and you're good to go. Set your lineup accordingly and make sure you use that Patrick Mahomes free square. To play, what you're going to do is download the Prize Picks app. You're going to put in the promo code CLNS, and you're going to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. If you haven't played one yet, get in there for the big game. You get a free square. That's one free win. All you have to do is you can now 2 to 6 players, right, in your roster. And so you get a free one. All you got to do is hit one of them. The one I have going this week, of course, I'm using the Patrick Mahomes square because you'd be dumb not to. I have Xavier Worthy with more than 6.5 rushing yards and Jalen Hurts with more than 0.5 rushing or receiving yards. Remember the last time the Eagles, all Patriots Nation remembers that quarterbacks for the Eagles do catch touchdown passes in Super Bowls occasionally. And so let's try to block the Nick Foles one out, and maybe the Jalen Hurts one will happen, or maybe it'll be a tush push at the goal line. Nevertheless, that's what I have going this week. Get in on the action with me. Download Prize Picks today. Put in the promo code CLNS, and you're going to get $50 instantly when you play that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Okay, so let's get into that interview with Gonzalez and Jon Jones. Again, some interesting information here. Jon Jones broke a little bit of news to me when it came out, and then of course, the coaches were announced right afterwards. But he did tell me who the cornerbacks coach was, and then kind of walked it back for a second. And then by the time an hour later or whatever, the coaching staff was officially announced, and there he was. But nevertheless, it's a fun interview. So give it a listen, and I'll be back on the other end. Thanks, guys.
All right, we are being joined by, or I guess I'm being joined by Patriots cornerbacks Christian Gonzalez and Jonathan Jones down there in New Orleans at Media Week. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through. We really appreciate stopping by on the show.
Appreciate you having us.
How's everyone doing? You having fun down there?
Doing good.
Yeah?
Food. Yeah.
There you go. Good. Gonzo, before we get started, I just gotta say congrats on the All-Pro selection. It's a big deal. You deserved it. I thought you deserved first team All-Pro, but we'll take second team All-Pro.
Yeah, sure. Appreciate it.
So have you guys had a chance to speak with any of the coaches that got hired, the new coaches? I know it's basically a whole new regime with Vrabel and Williams, and I don't know if you talked to any of your positional coaches as well.
I haven't spoken to Vrabel. He ain't called me or nothing. I talked to the safety coach, but that's about it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I was actually in the facility. I got to bump into Braves while we were in the facility. We spoke for a little while, just more about life and football. Yeah, the new cornerback coach reached out as well.
That's great. That's great. All right. Very cool. Who is that? Who is the you want to break some news on the cornerbacks coach?
Williams.
Yeah, Williams. I think the guy who I don't know if he's. Don't put my name on it. But he just don't do me like that. But no, he said he'd be working with the DBs.
I got you.
The DB coach is not.
Yeah. Okay.
He said he'd be working with the DBs.
All right. Cool. Sounds good. All right. Nice. Well, listen. 8 years ago, as you know, John Jones, right? You're the third longest tenured Patriot. 8 years ago today was the 28-3 comeback. So just for you, right? Was there a shift on the sideline, like an energy shift on the sideline at some point in that game where you like felt like, oh boy, like this might happen?
Man, for like a young player, I can remember going in at halftime, and like I was expecting there to be like yelling, and I expected it, you know what I mean? Because we were getting killed. And Bill just came in and said like they don't have enough points yet. Like there's still some possessions. We have enough possessions. They don't have enough points. And that was his entire halftime speech. And so just the way that the guys came back out and just fought after that, it was just you could just feel it on the sideline. When Hightower made his play, it was a certain point we just felt like we were going and they weren't going to be able to stop us.
I love it. That's great. So all right. Gonzo, question for you. Both of your interceptions this year actually came off of routes that you undercut, right? You had the slant route against OBJ, and you also had the crossing route against Alec Pierce. Is that something that was a technique-based thing, or is that something that you kind of set up on your own, like a skill kind of, skill and athleticism, or is that something that you guys work on a day-to-day basis?
It's kind of all a combination of all of them. There were two completely different coverages, so
sure, yeah.
But they both allowed me to be able to undercut. It's just if you're in the position, the quarterback never throwing you the ball, you're throwing to the receiver. So
right,
if it's the right coverage, if it's the right call, and you feel like you can make a play, and you gotta go make a play.
All right, I like it. And John, for you, I thought your best play of the season, the most memorable play of the season for you, actually came in week 1. The tackle on Yoshivas on 4th and 2, right? That dude's 6'3", 215 or something like that. And one of the things that I love about you is that, I think your draft stock, people didn't think you were big enough, right? And you play with that edge, right? And so is there is that a mentality from you? And that how do you bring that to the team and that physicality?
Yeah, it's always been a part of my play. I think people look at my stature and they don't think that, but that's just always been how I play. Growing up, I grew up, in the country, so I grew up rough. I grew up outside, and that's just how I, that's the only way I know how to be. Is I'm gonna run through you, and it's either gonna be you or me. That's kind of always been my mindset. But God, the play you're talking about, it had my chest hurting for like the whole year. It took me a couple weeks to be able to talk after that.
Yeah, man, you didn't go low either. You were like, I'm taking this man up high, and oh goodness.
Yeah,
so,
I had to.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. Gonzo, are you in touch with Google? Because what the hell is going on over there, man? I don't know whose picture is that? Because it sure isn't yours.
I don't know what happened. I didn't even see it. I don't know what I was doing. I was on my, I wasn't even paying attention to my phone, and my friend sent it to me. And then I saw the Patriots posted it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, how that happened. I don't know if it's real, if it was somebody Photoshop. I don't know, but that was funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
So what's crazy is that I was like, oh, maybe it was a Photoshop thing. And then I just looked you up today, just like, Christian Gonzalez stats. And sure enough, there was your picture. And I'm like, what is going on? Put some respect on Christian Gonzalez's name, please. And get his
Pat, we got time for 2 more. And I know they want to talk to you about bounty for one of those.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Real quick. Bo Nix, successful rookie quarterback, right? Went to both of your schools now in college. So who's more responsible? Was Auburn more responsible, or was Oregon more responsible for making him the player that he is today? Gonzo, I don't know if you played with him. John, you might have played with him. He was at Auburn for a while now.
He went don't look at him like that. He went down.
Nah, he was at Oregon with me. We went to Oregon together. My junior year. So I only played 1 year with him, but I think Oregon claimed him. He had a good first season at Auburn, and then I don't think he was surrounded by a lot of talent. No offense, but then he came over to the Ducks, and he had talent around him, and everybody saw what he can do with that.
You gonna just let him steal that from you?
Hey, we gave him his trials. You know what I mean? He had to go through the SEC to grind at that, and then he went over there. Became a better player.
Okay. All right. That works. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I know you wanted to say a few things about Bounty before you left.
Yeah, we out here at the Super Bowl, and the most important, I will say the most important thing though is wings. You gotta have wings when you watch the Super Bowl, and you can't have wings without Bounty, because wings get messy.
Yeah, they said 4 billion wings are going to be eaten on Sunday. Are you taking part in that?
I will be taking it. Absolutely, I will be taking it.
Make sure you got your Bounty too then.
I'll have some next to me for sure. Hey guys, thank you so much. Good luck this year. I'll be cheering you on from section 143 over by the lighthouse. So we appreciate you guys. Take care, and thanks for making some time for me today.
Awesome.
All right, so huge thanks to John Jones and Christian Gonzalez for joining us, and for Bounty for making it happen. It was a fun interview, fun sitting down with those two guys. You could tell that they have a lot of fun. They have a pretty solid relationship, and had some laughs back and forth. And I'll tell you, it is interesting, talking to John Jones about that. And you look at the type of player that he was at Auburn, and probably should have been drafted, and wasn't because of his size, right? And but he does play that physical type of football, right? And it's funny to see them, go through some of those things. Of course, he says that hit kind of messed him up for a bit, and but you wouldn't know it with the way he played. So, but nevertheless, it was a lot of fun getting to sit down with those guys and talk to them about the upcoming season, and hopefully better times ahead for the Patriots moving forward. So anyways, let's so that's all we got. We do have one more ad read before we get out of here. And that, of course, is for Game Time. Now, for me, anytime I think about this time of year, I think about the Patriots playoff games of the past, right? Whether it was 2003 against the Colts, or, against the Titans in the coldest game ever played at Gillette Stadium, or, 2007 against the Chargers with, LT sitting crying on the bench because his toe hurt while his quarterback is playing through a torn ACL. And, all of those games, and all of those, AFC divisional games and AFC championship games that the Patriots witnessed at home. Lots of great times. But I'll tell you, right now, I wish that I had Game Time for some of those games. And you wish, I don't really wish, because I'm a season ticket holder for those games, but you wish that Game Time was around for them, because you could have gotten in on a good deal, right? Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you exactly only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Now, you're probably not flying down to New Orleans for the Super Bowl, okay? But this upcoming Wednesday, Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs are traveling up to Boston to play the Celtics. You can get in the door for $82. In the door for $82. And yeah, they're up high, but they're not bad seats. They're pretty good seats, right? You can get the bottom level for under $200. And so, that's really the one. The super deal, the best deal they got going on right now is basically almost floor, real low, section 14, row B, for $293 to get in the door. Almost $50 off the regular price of, or the regular price that those would be selling at. So, listen, for game time, they have curated deals, which make it easier to find the best price on great seats. And again, that super deal was big. And the seat views are clutch, right? You click on it and you can see the view from your seat, right? That's a huge advantage for you. Okay. So remember, don't forget that game time picks. Okay. And again, they're gonna cut through all that fluff for you to make it a lot easier. They do also have all-in pricing, so you're not hit with any of those fees at the last minute. All right. So, and they do have also the lowest price guarantee. See, that's a big one too. The lowest price guarantee. Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference if you find cheaper tickets in that same area. Okay. So that's pretty darn good, right? So, anyways, what you're going to do is you're going to download the Game Time app. You're going to put in the code CLNS, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. So if you want to go to that Spurs game, we can knock $20 more off of the tickets. You can get in the door for $62. What a deal, man! Are you kidding me? So again, terms do apply. You're going to create an account, redeem the code CLNS, and get $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right. Listen, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. I hope you all enjoy the Super Bowl this Sunday. Hopefully, it'll be a good outcome for Patriots fans, who I assume most of them, or if not all of them, are rooting for the Eagles. So hopefully that will happen. We'll see. But Matt and I will be back next week. I'm sure we'll be talking about the full coaching staff that, of course, got announced today. It got put out. Lots of interesting names on there. And Vrabel, I guess just quickly, we'll just say this, right? I think what was interesting about it is that Vrabel made a point to talk about how he wanted and he was looking for different points of view, right? And he wasn't just grabbing all of his friends, and he wasn't just saying, oh, we're going to just, take whoever I know, right? And here it is, right? The goal in filling out the 2025 Patriots coaching staff was to identify loyal, trustworthy coaches who are diverse in background, ideas, experiences, and systems. We'll be aligned in our vision to teach and develop our players with creativity, consistency, and an attention to detail with the major goal of developing relationships that stretch beyond the field and meeting rooms. We're going to build a program that players, coaches, and staff want to be a part of, protect, and be proud of. There are so many great people in this building who help our players to the coaching staff on a daily basis. I'm excited to work side by side with them to build this program. And he goes on to talk about a few different people. But I think that for me, I think that's a really good point, right? And that's an interesting point. Now, he did grab a good amount of people from Tennessee, right? And again, an example of that, of course, right, would be Terrell Williams, right? The defensive coordinator who coached with him in Tennessee. And of course, you have Josh McDaniels, who was here in New England forever. And I guess never, was a coach under Mike Vrabel, but was a coach while Mike Vrabel was playing. So it's an interesting kind of look at it. But then, bringing in Thomas Brown, I thought was smart, and bringing in Doug Marrone, and so having these different guys, kind of taking a look at different things. And so I like that different approach, and having some diverse backgrounds. I think that makes a difference for the Patriots, right? You don't want to have, looking at it from one point of view. And so I think that hopefully will bode well for the Patriots moving forward. So lots to be excited about this year. And of course, John Jones and Christian Gonzalez should be a big part of it. And again, we thank them for coming on this episode. Hope you enjoyed the interview. And Matt and I will be back next week talking about the Super Bowl and also getting into more mock drafts. And because now it's starting next week, it's officially the offseason. No more football games until August. So lots to talk about, lots to discuss, and we'll get to April nice and slow. So thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you next week. Be good to each other, and go Pats.